Well, that was God Sees You by my baby sister, Shanta Atkins.
Shanta!
Did you know that suicide attempts by African-American teenagers are increasing, especially amongst Black boys? Joining me to talk about it today is Shanta Atkins. She is a special education teacher in Chicago. She's also a singer, songwriter, a minister, and an author. She's the founder of Love Changes Lives Incorporated, and she is my baby sister, and she's here with us this morning. Good morning, Shanta.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, let's jump right in. So suicide attempts, the rates among African-American teens have been increasing over the past few years. And according to a new study, African-American boys, especially between the ages of 5 and 11, have experienced an increase in the rate of suicide deaths. So let's talk about it. What is happening with the children?
I've worked with children in so many different contexts. I see that there's a consistent thing of a parent not being there and not being present in the home with the children. And a lot of them are just being distracted instead of being raised. Because of what's going on within our nation, our country, they're seeing themselves being murdered all the time. And so if you're constantly yelling at them, screaming at them, you're never telling them anything positive, you're telling them what they're not, and then they go out into the community and they see themselves being murdered, and then you allow them to get on these devices and play all these different games where it's just murder, and then their self-esteem's not being built, and then they're being bullied, and then no one's really paying attention to the fact that they're being bullied. It's all of these things happening at one time.
For the parent that's listening right now, Shanta, asking, well, what are the signs? What do I have to do to make sure that's not my son?
Of course, we know prayer, right? Right? But you have to talk to your children. A lot of times when I would go into the homes and have to do like home visits as a case manager in the community, a lot of times when I was dealing with young Black boys who were, who had suicidal ideations and all of that, one of the things that I would see is they would not be educated, the parents would not be educated on suicide, on mental illness. They would think that it was something stupid. It's something stupid, especially in the Black community and especially in Black communities where they have faith, right? I work alongside the mental health organization called Mental Health for America, which is one of the largest mental health organizations in our nation. And what they do is they have resources on their website where you can go and you can use assessment tools to see if there are symptoms that you may have or your child has. I would say for parents, educate yourselves. You must educate yourselves and pay attention to your child.
So what are some questions that parents can ask their kids just to start finding out what's going on?
How are you doing? How was your day at school? Are you okay? Do you feel loved? Do you know that I love you? There was a psychiatrist that said that all mental illness stems from a lack of love. And I think that you need to pay attention to what they're watching. What are they watching on the device? What are they looking at? What are they viewing? What are the trends that are happening within teens and children? There's a lot of mental health organizations that have trainings that will show you what is happening, what are the new trends, what are the new drugs that are out with children and teens.
New challenges.
I've been to several of them, and they will inform you on what's happening. They will inform you on what's going on, what's out in the streets, what's out in the schools. Be present at your child's school. Be present. You need to pay very close attention to changes in their behaviors. And I'm not saying harass them, but just kind of keep watch and be present in their life. What I hear a lot of them say is that their parents do not care. Their parents aren't present.
I am talking with my baby sister, Shanta Atkins, and today we're talking about suicide prevention and how there are a lot of African-American children committing suicide at an alarming rate. But I want to talk about your podcast. It's called Tay's Words of Wisdom. Share what that is and where people can listen to it.
So Tay's Words of Wisdom is basically something that started off as me just kind of sharing my thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and somewhat sermons, people call them, and just sharing a little bit about my life and things that I care about, things that I'm passionate about, and that I think is important. You can find my podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Anchor FM. You can find it on iHeartRadio and Spotify and all of the different digital platforms where they have podcasts.
Come on, big time. You can follow my baby sis on all social media at It's Shanta Atkins. It's Shanta Atkins. Thank you so much for being with us today. I love you a whole bunch.
Love you too.
Are you going to be home for Thanksgiving?
I am.
Okay, praise the Lord. All right, Shanta Atkins on Get Up Mornings. We'll be back with more.